We're going to open it up with a song called Monster.
Music live here at WDET Studio A from Detroit band Duende. They got a show coming up at the Lager House in Corktown tomorrow night, Friday night, on a brand new album out as well. Duende, Jeff Howitt, Joe McCune, Scott Sanford, and Laura Willem over on drums. It's so good to have you guys finally, the full band here in the studio.
Feels great. Feels great.
Thanks for
It's been
having us.
15 years.
Yeah. So the band's been together for a really long time. And, the way you guys started, according to kind of legend here, is as just a jam session one stormy night and where everyone's coming together. And now here you are 15 years later with this band. Did you expect to be going on this long?
You would always like to think that something would catch on like that. And really that first jam session too, when I was living out west, a lot of my friends, my traveler friends, so when we would get together in Phoenix in the winter, we'd always record like a new album of material and whatever. And this and that, just like an album, just like with made up bands with whoever was around. So when I moved back to Michigan, I had thrown one of those recording sessions, and one of the jams, I had someone lined up for drums on like the sessions of songs, and literally it was the summer solstice, the power went out, and Laura got on the drums, And it was just one of those things. And I'm like, I was like, no, I'm like, you're the drummer in this band, So yeah, so it's,
Solstice magic.
yeah, it was.
Laura, were you playing before then, or did this kind of kickstart your, foray into drums?
I think I've probably played a handful of times, just jamming with friends at somebody's house. So yeah, it did pretty much just kickstart from there.
Yeah. So Love Dogs in Space is the name of the brand new album. It is out now on vinyl, recorded and mastered here in Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
All right, what's up with the title, Love Dogs in Space? Where'd it come from? Who came up with that?
Well, it's kind of been a joke. There's a Richard Hell and the Voidoid song. It's Love Comes in Spurts.
Oh my God, yeah,
And with the background vocals for years, I think I probably first saw it on, Pump Up the Volume to bring in a radio reference. And I always thought it was Love Dogs in Space, and I could never find it, and it wasn't on the soundtrack.
That's what you heard?
Yeah, that's what I heard. So this is always kind of like, oftentimes, like when I write lyrics too, I try to, we keep a lot of inner band jokes and references. So that was always kind of a joke, Love Dogs in Space. And then finally this writing session, a song came up, and I'm like, I think that Love Dogs in Space works for this, So it's kind of, it was a misheard lyric, but we jumped on it. So.
With the rest of you, were you like, yeah, that's it? Or was there like,
No, we were all in it.
I had heard the same exact thing. Love Dogs in Space. That's what I thought it was too.
all right, well, it's Love Dogs in Space. That's the name of the new album. What I love about you guys, and I've seen you live a number of times since you began, recording, releasing music in 2007. So, what I love about you guys is, one, you all seem like really actually good friends in the band, and you seem like you get along really well, and you bring that to the stage. I feel like having a good time is such a part of a Duende live show for everyone involved. Is that something you really think about and you try to make happen when you play live?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like even the term duende, the flamenco term. It's kind of when everybody at some point in the jam, like if we're not individuals, like the band is one idea and one thing. So it is, I mean, when we get together and rehearse, like we cook dinner together. If it's nice out, we have a fire. And then most of the time we get around to playing. But it is, we try to kind of like, it's like more of a cultural experience, if I could use that term, meaning like it's fun being in a band, but it's more fun to be in a gang and it's more fun, so if we crack each other up, there's sometimes we've had rehearsals and we just laugh all night and play records. And for us, that was enough of a mental or psychic vibe to kind of put us on the thing. So yeah, we try to have fun. I mean, to me, always playing a live show is like trying to give back to experiences I saw growing up where I'd see a show and I'm like, what just happened? Like that, like it's fun in ways I never even thought. So yeah, I mean, in its own way, but it's also, we're partying with ourselves on stage too, is the kind of the idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's, Joel, you didn't turn your cell phone off. Seriously, bud.
He's a very important guy. He's very important.
We're live at WDET with Duende. I just keep calling you guys, longtime rock band, but really your sound is so many things. I think of it as really what punk is, even though obviously it's not just three chords and what most people would think. You've got Americana in there, roots rock, a psychobilly, and you even worked with a goth legend.
Yeah.
Bassist David J. from Bauhaus a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
What was that like working with him?
Well,
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, he's as mysterious and aloof and and untouchable as you would think, but he's also like he's got a great mild sense of humor and
He's a gentleman.
Yeah, he's a gentleman, and he's as interested in anything as he ever was. He's been doing it since his late teens, and that was the thing that he really, when we did the session with him, and we knew him for a couple years, and then he jumped up on stage with us for Frank Woodman's 50th birthday party, and to do No New Tale Would Tell. And if that was just the story, that would be great. But then he saw us at Theater Bazaar, and this is, like I said, after a couple years of knowing him, being like, oh, it's kind of cool. And he saw us at Theater Bazaar, and we had like one of those moments. So he wrote us like this nice little rock and roll love letter the next day, which started the conversation. And then he and I were talking and being very, we're lyric writers. So all of a sudden he started picking lyrics out of our discourse, and we lyrically wrote the first song just in our exchange. And at first it was just going to be maybe a song or two, but then his friends listened to it and they're like, you've got to do a full record with this band. And, so it was kind of an accident, but it was a happy accident.
So kind of like, what is that, the William Burroughs method of like cutting and pasting up news articles or conversations or stuff to make something new?
Yeah, funny enough, I mean, that is actually not that I don't write about things, but I oftentimes, when I get a bunch of lyrics together, that's exactly the method that I use, because sometimes the story that's revealed in that, but yeah, that's how that first song was written. And then when we were recording, he was going through his like little notebooks and pulling out things and just kind of doing it, even mixing, it's like, oh, this song didn't have lyrics, but now it does, Yeah.
Wow, I'd love to go through his notebooks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so many brilliant things.
He'd probably love to
there.
show you, as far as that goes.
We're in live in WDET Studio A with Detroit band Duende. They have got a show coming up tomorrow night at the Lager House in Corktown, playing with the Sun Astros. Another band opening up as well for you guys?
Yeah, and they're kind of like, it's like a Sunset Strip style. They're playing in the middle, but it's a band that we know from Canada called Cattle. We're really big in Canada, but we have a bunch of friends up there that we've played with over the years. And so, they'll bring us up there. And this is Cattle's first time in town in 3 years since the before times.
Yes.
So we're really excited. And they've got a bunch of pals in town too. So we're really hoping it's going to be a good night for them and us.
Yeah, sounds like a packed show. That is happening tomorrow night at the Lager House in Corktown. Again, Duende opening up that show, playing new music from their latest album called Love Dogs in Space, which they are here to do as well. You guys want to play another song?
Yeah, we're going to play the title track.